Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen out and we're going to capture a recording of this first session, because what I wanted to do is have a bit of a chat, an overview of where we currently are at the moment. Now again, we still have the basic focus in that we have our main facilitator Moodle page. Now we've been trying to simplify this down. When you look back and see what we've achieved over the last semester, you realise we've covered a huge amount of content. If you have a look at how many videos there are, activities, assessments, readings, there's a lot of content up there. And Casey and I are very conscious about trying to sort of simplify that as much as we possibly can. What I'd like to draw your attention to here is, remember the timetable. This is our timetable of how we're approaching this course over this year, how it's going to fit in. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a snapshot of where we are right now. See that one moment to come up. Almost there. There we go. So this is where we are right now. So if you have a look, in that first term we went through and we were doing work and communicate effectively in IT. Then we moved on to using social media tools for collaboration and engagement. And we did use computer operating systems and hardware. Now, we integrated those together, a lot of common ground between them. All of that has been dealt with and is resolved, so it's all done. And again, people did really, really well. In our second term, so this is what's finished just back at the end of June, we were working on produce and prepare photo images and capture a digital image. Now, this is what we sort of bundled together, and we called it capture and edit digital images. So that's the work we've just finished. Now we've still got just a very small number of projects still trickling in. I think virtually all of the quizzes are done. There might be one or two outstanding. And the nice thing is, even though I know people have been doing a stress and getting all worried and saying, oh yeah, got it, it's a lot of work and it was hard. Look, the standard of work that we've gone through and marked so far has been brilliant. People have done really, really clever things in how they have applied these skills. Because this is not a theoretical exercise, it's about how do you take these skills that we've been going through and showing you and apply that to a real world situation. So I've seen some great work, so I'm very, very happy. Now, if you have a look down the bottom of this page, this is where we are right now. We have 3 units to go through this semester. We have participate in OH&S processes, and I suppose now in the current era, with the changes to occupational health and safety legislation, it's now called workplace health and safety. So you're going to see that will start flowing through to our resources, and we'll be providing other resources to sort of fill that gap for you. We have participate in environmentally sustainable work practices, and we have operate application software packages. Now, again, we're going to be working flexibly through this work. Up until now, we've had an approach very much of integrating all the work together, so one major project covers off several units. That's about to change in this semester, this term in particular, because those 3 units, they really don't fit together particularly well. So we're going to deal with them separately, and we have some choices for you. I suspect there would be a fair number of people in this class who have already done some training in OH&S. They may have already have done that exact unit. If they haven't done that exact unit, they may have done a very similar unit. They may have had experience in their job where they've been working with OH&S. So my assumption is I think a fair number of people are going to apply for recognition on that unit. Now, it's okay if you need to do that unit. I have all the resources there for you, and there will be a quiz. So we have lots of reading material, we can help you through with the content, have some discussions, and I'll have a final test for you. But my guess is I think a fair few people are going to apply for recognition. In terms of the other unit here, participate in environmentally sustainable work practices, I'm just going to quickly go back and check if anyone's got a question. Okay, Lynn's got a comment here. She teaches OH&S. Sue does the same, and Christine, yep, you as well. Can you see what I mean? It's already happening, isn't it? People starting to think, oh, I've done that. So straight away, we've got a solution there in terms of how we deal with that unit. Now, in terms of participate in environmentally sustainable work practices, this is one of the new units that have become a part of pretty much every single course that you could do in vocational education. The theory behind that is that we need to teach people how to use energy and operate in an environmentally friendly way as we do our jobs. Now, I've got some great resources there lined up for that, and there will be a final test for it. There may be some people that have already done some study in that and will apply for recognition. If I had to have a guess, sorry, I'll just jump back, Christine. I'll see if you can get that screen back. How's that now, Christine? Have you got the screen open?
No, not yet.
Let me just go and check that. I just want to make sure I'm still online. Yep, everybody's still there. Christine, I'm hoping you can see that. If not, I'll come back and check. And remember, I'm recording this bit as well. Now, so this participate in environmentally sustainable work practices, I've got lots of resources there for you ready to go, lots of reading resources. We're going to have some discussions and some summaries, and the assessment will be a test at the end. So as we go through those reading and through those discussions, we'll have little quizzes for you, and then you'll sit the final test. I think you're going to find that a very comfortable unit to move through because the resources are good and they're easy to work with. So I don't expect any dramas there. Now, coming to the last one there, that operate application software packages. This unit is about working with 3 different software applications. They specify in the unit guide that you need to be using word processing, spreadsheets, and at least one other software application. Now again, because the group of people we've got have already got very substantial experience, I thought this was an opportunity for us to value add to what we're doing in the course. So we will assess you to the minimum standard of that unit. But I thought what we would do is we would push the delivery up higher than that unit so that you can develop some really good solid skills that will help you. So what I'm going to do is deliberately target some activities that are going to push you along a little bit harder and set you up with some skills to do some much more advanced data analysis work. So that's what's at the back of my mind. Now, the reason I'm doing that is I'm thinking about the job roles of the people in this group. I suspect all of you in your job roles need to be analysing data from a whole range of different perspectives. And it's one of the things that I find that people tend not to have a detailed enough knowledge in. Now, what I'm talking about there, I'll give you some examples. In spreadsheets, showing people how to create non-standard graphs or charts. So, I mean, anybody can go and click on some data and just create this very simple little pie chart. I want to show you how you can really fine-tune those charts and get a lot more from them and make them much more user-friendly in terms of how you represent that data, how you visualise that data. I'm going to show you how you can do some clever things with spreadsheets where you can have a large set of data and then filter the data down and only look at certain parts of it. How you can have what we call data validation and limit the data that goes in. So I think there's a lot of fine-tuning there that we can provide a fair bit of work on that unit that will help you a lot. That's what my goal is anyway. So that's a snapshot. Let me just go back to the screen. I just want to see if everyone's following along okay. Janine's telling me she loves spreadsheets and she can't wait. Are you being sarcastic with me, Janine? I don't know about this. How many people love spreadsheets? I thought it was only sad cases like me that love spreadsheets.
No,
Oh, she really does. Good on you.
That's work.
You're a maths person. I like it. Me too. Very sad. Okay. So look, that's where I thought we could get some value adding done. So that's what I've got in mind for that one. Let's have a quick look. I want to show you where your resources are so that you can see how you can move forward. Let's jump back into here. So we've had a look at the timetable. Again, you know now what we're going to be covering. We'll be working on that for this term only through to the 17th of September. When we go back in over here, I really wish I had a faster computer, it would make life easier. Again, right down the bottom of this page, you'll find the detailed timetable of what we're up to. Week by week, it's all there. When you get into that and go down to this current week, that's the content for this week here. Now, Casey and I need to have a chat yet about how we're going to structure this page. Each term we've been experimenting with layout to try and make it more user-friendly. But as a starting point, let's start with that one until we fine-tune it. So you can see there for this week, I've got a link for you to the individual pages for each of those topics. And you can see what we'll be covering in this week and what the activities are for this week. So what I want to get to tonight is this one over here, which is a weather records problem. And what skills we'll be covering are some functions, charts, advanced formatting features, data validation, and protection. So it's a bit full on. There's actually a fair bit of work in that, to be honest. So even though it's a very small little spreadsheet, you're going to find that the work we go through will be at a fairly high level. Now, I haven't time lined up next week yet. Sort of just came back off holidays this morning and I'm a little bit behind, I apologise. But I will get there. In terms of resources, if you have a look over here, I have workbooks of readings that cover off the major aspects of what we're covering. The spreadsheet one in particular is very, very good. So please take advantage of that one, make it work for you. The OH&S one, this top one here, is great. That also covers off some of the first unit there, participate in OH&S processes, and I'll have some additional resources for you as well. So again, we're going to have this page here, and I will have recordings for you as we go through. Just quickly showing you the other content. When you go on to individual units, again, you're going to see this here will expand out, so that if you want to go and see all the units for participate in OH&S, you'll go to this page. It'll have a list of all the readings and resources. It'll have a list of all the activities and assessments. So it's almost like a checklist for you to go and make sure you've covered everything. One of the pieces of feedback that we've had from people as we've gone through our courses is they've been saying, oh, you know, we're working on all these different units, we're in Moodle, but sometimes it's just a bit confusing, have I covered everything? So we're going to use this method so it becomes almost like a checklist to make sure you're there. So that'll be that one there, that'll be expanding. Over here, the next one across is when you click in this one here, that resource there, this is the page you'll get up, and down the bottom down here, these are all the different documents that are the resources for that unit. Now I'm going to be unpacking those and make that a bit easier for you to work with, but you're going to see again, like most of the work we've been doing, we've got a lot of resources for you. You've got plenty of content that you can refer back to. So we've got that one ready to go. Again, I'm expecting a lot of people are going to apply for recognition on that unit anyway. Yep, I'll show you how to do that. It's just a matter of, I'll need to see some evidence. It might be a transcript of what you've already done. So I'll go through that with you and show you how to do it. That won't be. Okay, participate in environmentally sustainable work practices. Again, by the end of this week, when you come down the bottom down here, you'll see here, I've already started it, I've got the breakup of what we need to cover. And you can see up the top up here, I've got a toolbox. And again, that toolbox has the resources for that unit that you can access. And when you go into that one, when it opens up, the resource for this one's actually really, really good. There's a whole collection of readings, there's some recorded podcasts, and I think there's some even more short videos that it links off to as well. So, you know, you've hit quite lucky in that we've got great resources for this one. We've done really well. So, lots and lots of content. Again, the limiting factor will be time to work your way through it.
Read all that.
Yeah, to read all. It takes time, doesn't it? But remember, our philosophy is we will assess you at the minimum standard, the required standard, but you'll see that we'll often have the delivery will be at a higher standard so that we can value add to what we do. So there's a snapshot of where we are at the moment. Again, we're going to be very, very flexible how we work through things. What I want you to do between now and next week is just get in there and start moving through Moodle and see what we've got for you. And again, just be aware that you need to keep going back to it regularly so that you can see what we're up to. So that's a snapshot of where we are right now. Now I'm just going to stop the recording in a few minutes. I'll just take a few questions. We're going to come back and start the weather records. So just give me 1 minute while I do that.